cool. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right, hey, welcome back to the podcast. You guys want to introduce yourself real quick?
I'm Paris Visone.
And I'm Francesca Ludikar.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And how about just say your title instead of me goofing it up?
I'm a video director.
Gotcha.
Yep. On tour.
And I'm a photographer.
And you guys work together, right?
No.
No? That's
No,
news to me.
I was like, what?
What?
We work alongside each other, but we don't really work together.
We
Yeah.
have worked
If you think
together on
about it.
stuff.
But you guys tour together.
We do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with who?
Godsmack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that mainly what your tours or?
Yeah.
Cool.
I worked.
So I was Godsmack's photographer, videographer since 2011. So I stopped because I just had enough, you know.
Sure.
and I recommended Frankie.
Yeah, I think when I met you guys, I think you said you just transitioned.
Yep.
Positions, right?
So I'm the
Yeah.
video director now.
Cool.
It's just, after 13 years of photographing the same band and the same show, I was just getting burnt out on trying to come up with something new. So
Sure.
I switched careers at almost 40 years old, and then
Works for me.
Frankie
Yeah, right. You
took
got a job.
over, and now she has to hurt her knees running around while I just sit at a table
running
and
the
push
pit,
buttons.
All that stuff.
Yeah, in the mosh pit. Yeah.
But you also, Brandy Carlisle,
Brandy and
New Kids on the Block?
New Kids on the Block. Yep.
Yeah, you gave me tickets to that. That was a very interesting
Did
show.
you have a good time? Yeah.
Paula Abdul looked like she was going to fall over.
She has oxygen for that. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I might need that for
standby.
this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah.
Really? Like, because she's just getting up there.
I mean, yeah, a lot of musicians have it, like especially if they're in like the higher altitudes and stuff. But
Oh.
she's dancing. She's
I mean, she was kicking butt on stage.
Yeah,
she
she
was
doesn't
just like
mess
she didn't
around.
stop like once.
so yeah,
That was-
breathing
that
it's
was-
important. So
Yeah, sure.
they prioritize that.
It's not like a country show where you're just sitting in the corner strumming.
Break a bear.
Yeah.
Well, then you guys are just here in Nashville, just chilling this week, right? No projects or
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of hanging out, and isn't that the Nashville way?
yeah.
That's how things happen, right? If you're here, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
think
when you're
so.
not here, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. Well, it'd be nice to kind of get like a backstory. So, how'd you get into cinematography, all that good stuff?
I loved the band Hanson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Mm,
probably,
That's
Bop.
a great band.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
bop, yeah.
mm.
oh,
Bop,
yeah, you
yep.
probably heard of them. It's pretty famous.
Just dropping it. Pick that up for me.
But yeah, no. So like when I was 11, I loved them, and I saw them on a TV show, and they was like Day in the Life, and they were doing a photo shoot, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that guy's hanging out with Hanson. I need to become a photographer so I can hang out with Hanson.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do you start just taking photos of bands?
Just my sister and my cousins. Literally, I was 11, so they were 5, and I was just making little band photo shoots. And then, I obviously started photographing for real in high school. Went to school for photography in college, and then it's kind of, stayed in the music scene,
Sure.
photographing all the time.
This is Boston?
Florida, actually, South
Oh.
Florida. Yeah, I
What part?
Boca Raton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
rich.
Fancy.
Yeah.
$500 an hour portrait session.
But yeah, so that's it. Went to college. I did go to college in Boston, and then I started
And
touring.
that's how you landed there.
Yeah, yep. Just back and forth from Florida to Boston, photographing all the time.
Okay, yeah, but then how'd you what was like your first tour? Like how'd you start really getting into the
My
music
first
industry?
tour was Blondie,
Oh,
which
wow.
was insane because it was just so legendary, and I'm just like, how did I get here?
Sure.
It's kind of messed up. I started like doing VIP. Like this guy I met when I was 16 started a VIP company like 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, hey, would you want to photograph meet and greets? And I was like, cool. And then
It's a good gig.
that got me on tour. And then I sort of turned that into like being a tour photographer. Because you got to think back then it wasn't a thing really because
Sure.
content creation wasn't
What it is
super-
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
There
being
was-
a good hang is how you get the job, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I am the best hang. So
I can already tell.
yeah, thank you. Thanks. But yeah, and just started. That's how I got on my actual like first bus tour, and then just networking from there. And then Godsmack was my second one, and then They stopped doing VIP and then kept me because they just wanted me to take pictures. So
Sure.
I was like, great, I'll continue that.
Well, killer.
Yeah.
But then, through just I guess you did Godsmack for how many years? 11?
Yeah.
So, I mean, between that, you just kind of found other artists. Like, hey, come hop on with us. Because,
Yeah, it's just like honestly, just meeting. Like you'd be on tour with different bands, and you'd like, oh, I'll shoot for them on the side, and just meeting a bunch of different people.
Sure.
And then they switch tours. Like, oh, I know this guitar tech's now in this one. They'll introduce you to this person. It's just more normal stuff that it's kind of not really glamorous.
Sure.
but
well, I mean,
it's kind of the grind, you know.
we had Peter Keys, Leonard Skinner on here, and he called it the cockroach effect.
Yeah.
Remember that? But it's just like, you just stick around and be nice.
Yeah,
Because
Hang around.
Just but I mean, like if you stick in anything long enough, you're gonna get success for sure. But I always think you got to be nice because there's I mean, even during COVID, for me as an example, like people that were dicks to me when I was 25, and then like, hey man, you got a company? I'm like, I would never hire you. You know?
yeah.
So you just never know
Exactly.
where someone's gonna be.
You
know?
really never know.
You said if you stick around with anything long enough, you get success.
I think.
So, like
think so.
gambling?
Yeah, you're pretty good at it. This guy will, when we used to go out a lot, he would literally in the studio on his TV and gamble a little bit. Oh, just made $300. Let's go. I'm like, dude, you're so good at that.
I got really into online poker.
Nice.
I would lose all my money.
Yeah.
I tried Prize Picks. I don't know how to even do that.
I love, so I have a studio down the street, produce a lot of records, but like sometimes it gets a little dull when people are trying to figure things out, and I'll just pull a little online poker up and get a couple hands.
Damn.
What's he doing?
Making money on the side. So it's
great.
poker. That's your
Poker,
game
yeah.
of choice.
It's
yeah.
I don't really see poker as a game of chance.
Okay.
Well,
That's what addicts say.
It's a game.
That's what it kind of.
It's a game of
Guys,
skill.
it's not a problem.
It's a game of skill because you have to convince them that you have something you don't.
Can you
Okay.
do that online? You convince them online?
How you bet?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well then, do you prefer online poker over real poker?
No,
Like
real
the
poker is
world?
so much more fun.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Do you win more?
I think you might win less.
In,
It depends on what you're playing,
Yeah.
but online you
I
can play
mean,
like
you
5.
personally. Do you win more in?
No, not in real
person?
life. No,
Yeah.
sadly. But online you could play like 5 tables at once. In
Oh my
real
God.
life, you can only be sitting in
That's a
one
lot.
spot.
He's not addicted.
Yeah. I gotta speed this up.
It was a COVID hobby.
Nice.
Everyone's got to find work somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
I just played Call of Duty. The whole.
You can make money doing that
I
these
played
days
Red Dead
too.
Redemption 2 all during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game. It's a good game. Well, hey, let's talk about your career. So, how'd you get into it?
Well, I guess when I was a teenager, one of my best friends was like a teen pop star.
Oh,
It's a theme.
who was that?
Her name was Sky Sweetnam, or is Sky Sweetnam.
Hannah Montana.
She opened for Britney Spears' like Toxic tour back in like the early 2000s.
Dang.
So like, and she was like signed with Capitol Records and all that stuff. So like, yeah, she lived like a couple houses down, and I was like 14, 15. I was like, it's kind of cool. So we made friends, and then whenever she was home, she would like hit me up to like, just make art and take pictures, and like, and so we would just kind of work together. So like when I was a teenager, and then as she kept playing shows in Toronto, I would go down, bring camera, start shooting, and then she took me out on my first tour,
Ooh.
which was like, I feel like I was lucky I didn't do like a van tour. She had like a little converted minibus, so I did that with her, and then I met. They were opening for a band called Nonpoint, and so I made friends with all of that band, and then the next tour they invited me to go out with them.
Sweet.
And then, I worked with Nonpoint for like 5 years. I toured a lot with them, and then moved to Godsmack right after that.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
did y'all connect?
So I grew up in South Florida, which is where Nonpoint's from. So like I kind of knew them a little bit, but I always follow them because I like the music. So I just saw them tagging her all of a sudden, and I was like, oh shit, her shit's good.
Sure.
So I just became friends with her because I was like,
Your Instagram.
if you can hang with like new metal bands,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know you're cool. So I added her. I was
I like your
she's
shit.
cool.
Yeah.
Get into the great. My mom loves your shit.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's funny. My mom loves your shit. Well, that's cool. And then, well, actually, a question about touring. I mean, because you guys are always now on a bus, right? You're
Yeah.
skipping the van.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the worst thing about being on the road all the time?
Worst thing.
And what's the best thing? What's one or something you just really enjoy?
Yeah, honestly, there's nothing bad.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna pretend like, oh, being away from home. Yeah, I love my nieces and my sister, but that's all about that's at home.
Sure.
So I'm just like, whatever. I love having everything taken care of for me. Like I don't have to think about eating
Yeah.
or
you don't have to go grocery shopping.
Yeah,
Like none of
Because
that.
there's catering every day.
Catering every day, but then they have like runners at the venue. So if you need something, they'll send someone
if you
out.
need anything,
Sure.
you just go get that for me. It's like I'm rich.
Fetch.
I'm so rich on the road.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I
Rich
don't
on
have
the
to
road.
drive anywhere or find parking, like all that life stuff. It's just like
I'm in the
Oh,
mood for some strawberries. I'll just go I'll find a room. There's strawberries somewhere.
Yeah, someone wants it.
It's great.
It's on the rider somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody.
That's funny. Well, okay, what the hell's up with crabs
Oh.
and watermelon?
What?
So yeah.
Her Instagram.
Oh.
She's always that very weird to ask.
I get like in these weird
Yeah.
like,
I
little
understand.
she has
things
some
like
special interests.
yeah, so
Are you the special one on the road?
some would say. Yeah. There we had like 4 days off on the last New Kids tour at Virginia Beach.
Mhm.
And they have like all the hermit crabs like and it's actually really awful. Like they treat them really bad. It's like a whole hermit crab thing, and I found this out later from the internet. But
About like the whole how they raise them and sell
yeah,
them.
how they take them out of their shells, put them in the painted shells. It's like a whole thing. It's very traumatic for the
Gross.
crabs. So anyway, I get the hermit crabs. I was with my friend Emily. We were walking around. I saw them at the little station. I go, should we get hermit crabs? She goes, no. And I was like, all right, let's get 3. So we got 3. And then I was
So
like,
you never say no to Paris. That's
yeah. It's,
No, let's get
She should have
3.
said yes,
Yeah.
and then it would have never been a thing.
dude, they are so cute. And they're so little. And then
What do you
I
feed 'em?
got 2 more.
So you have 5.
I have more than that now, but I had 5 at the
She
time.
has 9.
Did you buy all 9 or are they multiplying?
No, you can't breed them in captivity. It's a whole thing. But I'll tell you their names. Little girl, tiny girl, baby boy, and favorite girl.
That's 5.
That's the first 5.
Oh,
Gotcha.
geez.
So yeah, so I had just carried them around, and everyone was like, "This girl's nuts," and they're
Like
right.
to the venue?
Yeah, so they would sleep with me in my bunk. It's a little thing. It's like a little plastic thing, and you put sand in it. You get the water, the thing, and they're eating pellets, which I also found out was super wrong. So you got to feed them like actual food. They're scavengers. It's really cool.
But like protein or like
Yeah, just food.
Yep.
Any food that you would eat that's just like not processed.
They'll
like
eat it.
Oh, I was gonna say hot
vegetables,
Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they'll eat the shit out of that. too.
That's great.
So, yeah, I just had crabs, and they was like, "Oh, Bears those crabs." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Great
Funny.
joke. Yeah. What are we,
That's
12?
great.
Yeah.
It's a good joke.
And
So it was just a tour thing. Like, oh, I want to.
a tour thing, and then we went on Godsmack afterwards, and you can't fly with them. I took the bus home, so it was okay. And then I was like, I need more crabs now because I don't have them on this tour. So I bought 2 more crabs, Robert and Michael, and then
Met Jonathan.
and then we went to another Petco, and there was a huge crab. It's this big, and I was like, I need it. And
Oh, you're getting them at
no,
like
you
legit
were,
pet
you
stores
were,
now.
You were afraid.
now, yes, I've moved on to pet stores.
Okay, not
but
just the
it's-
tourists.
Yeah,
She was intimidated by Jonathan.
dude, it's huge. It's like a
guy?
dinosaur.
She was
This
like
thing
looking
is
at
like
it, and then she's like, I don't know, and I was like, do it, like you.
they
need
last.
this, yeah.
They
Yeah.
can live for 40 years.
40?
This bitch is this big.
It might outlive you.
He had to be at least 10. Probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's big. So, yeah.
Are they kind of aggressive?
No, they're so chill.
Hmm.
But recently, a couple of them did bite me, like
Wow.
about a week ago.
Just
and it hurt so much. And I'm not even gonna lie, it was holding on. I was like trying to pull it off.
Baby girl.
It wasn't baby girl. It wasn't baby girl. It was tiny girl.
Tiny girl.
And she was such a bee. After I'd been so nice to her, I got him a big tank.
Children.
Whatever.
You know?
It was on me for like 2 minutes. It would not let go, and it kept like getting tighter and tighter. I was like, oh my God, I got nervous. I was like, all you know, when all the blood goes down,
Yeah.
you know, like, because I didn't want to just pull it off. I could have ended that thing's life right there.
Totally.
But I didn't want to because that's my baby.
Will they
It's your tiny
grow
girl.
the captivity?
Yeah,
if you put them in like a
shells.
big tank, would they keep getting bigger?
So
or-
yeah, you need to get them other shells to choose from because they grow and then they pick a bigger shell. It's a whole thing.
It's like dressing
That's
them.
cool. Okay, well,
a lot of fun.
But why watermelon? Why? I saw that for a long time.
You know, I love watermelon.
Yeah. Do you like
and,
watermelon?
I do. Not like
I just love watermelon. It's the perfect treat. It quenches your thirst.
It does.
And it gets you hydrated in case you forget to drink. And it also keeps you full. It's not fattening. I
That's
can
true.
eat that shit all day.
Okay, cool.
So I did, and New Kids also agreed because they had it on their rider. And then they barely ate that stretch. So I would go into the room
And get all
and I like 2:00 in the morning, here I am with the biggest bowl of watermelon ever because it was always like a ton.
That's a good
and then-
breakfast moment. Yeah.
I mean, it was 2 a.m, so it's after show food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Do the crabs eat the watermelon?
yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry, that was good. He's like, yeah, totally.
So I started doing watermelon reviews because it was different every city we're in, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the New Kids wanted to get in on the reviews because they were like, that's my watermelon to begin with. Like, why aren't I in this? So then that was the thing. Then I had Donnie wanted to do it every night.
Well, that's fun.
And it was great.
Well, in Japan, they grow them in boxes.
Oh, yeah, I
Did you know
saw
that?
that. Yep.
pretty cool.
Of course,
Oh,
yeah.
till I come-
I know all
Yeah,
watermelon.
you
You're
explain it, right?
not going
How
to get
dare
me
you.
on watermelon things.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Well, so what's going on next? Like, there's no touring for the rest of the year. No special New Year's Eve shows. No.
No.
I have Europe with Godsmack in the spring.
Nice.
Yeah, March.
I don't know if I'm doing that yet. We're going to see. But I'm directing for Brandy Carlisle in Mexico.
Man, that she tours a lot, dude.
Yeah.
She has.
does a lot of like destination kind of stuff. Like, oh, let's do this weekend festival sort of thing. So
Why
it's
not?
called
That's
Girls
the way-
Just Want a Weekend.
Like in Montana, and she does all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
This is an all-inclusive resort like thing. So it's going to be awesome.
What
And then-
part?
What part of Mexico?
Yeah.
No idea. No clue.
Just show up.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about touring. You just do what you're told.
Yeah.
You get on a flight that's paid for, booked for you. I get there. Someone picks me up. It's great.
You're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are rich. And you get paid.
Yeah.
I don't even care about that anymore. Although I do ask for more money every time.
You should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about that.
All right.
What do you mean?
We're like supposed to be an industry podcast, right?
Yeah.
So like negotiating
Supposed to be.
salaries.
I arbitrarily just up it every time.
Yeah. Do you have a set percentage, or you just think of
I
a
just
cool number?
wing it. I wing it.
How often do you get your number?
Every time. Oh yeah, every time I'll get that, and then next time I ask for more
Gotcha.
for no reason.
You hear that, kids?
Yeah. Be assertive.
fast.
So, but it works.
It
You haven't
works.
got a lot of pushback on it.
No.
Are you asking for more money every time?
Yes. I should.
Learn from her.
Yeah, I am. That's why I'm here.
I told you where to start. That's
Yeah.
Because you can't be too greedy.
Yeah.
No.
You
Yeah.
know?
You still
you
gotta
can.
play the building.
Yeah, you can.
you can. You could totally be too greedy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's a competitive industry. You don't want to ask too much, and then they're like,
I think y'all are agreeing.
What do you mean?
You can be too greedy.
Oh no, I'm saying you can't.
You can't. Oh, you're saying like go ahead and ask
Yeah.
for the crazy amount?
Let's just go for it.
Huh?
I love
that's a
that.
good
Oh.
attitude.
But you know what? I'll also do shit for free. So
Gotcha.
there's that.
Sure.
It balances out.
Mhm.
It's all just about me and what I want to do.
Sure.
If it sucks enough, but the money offsets that, I'll do it.
Sure.
If it's like really cool, but the money's not there, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
It's all about
Are
happiness.
you doing like like independent music videos or?
I
anything like
used
that?
to. It's just they're kind of exhausting,
Sure.
and unless it's like just strictly performance, because that's what I really like to like shoot. Like I don't love shooting like a storyline and like getting actors and dealing with set times and all that stuff.
a
Like
lot.
I love a good performance. Those are my favorite music videos anyway. Just like a straight up
Sure.
awesome shot performance video.
Cool spot.
That look cool spot, good lighting, like energy. That's my kind of
Yeah,
favorite
it's like
music
high,
video.
high energy music video.
Yeah. Or whatever the song calls for, but
Sure.
I'm not like a movie maker. So I don't really want to set up like, oh, this person and this person broke up and you can't use words, but you need to portray it.
Yeah.
That's just not really my flow. I'm kind of just like a visual person. So
Sure.
yeah.
But you're not working on any independent stuff.
No, honestly, I made like a video for like my video resume, and she shot most of it. I edited that together, but video isn't really like my favorite thing ever. Like I'm first and foremost like a photographer,
Yeah,
sure.
and then I'm directing video on tour, which is the iMag screen. So it's everyone else is holding camera, and you're calling stuff live, and it's all just live. So there's no editing or anything. It's purely like visual. And I like that so much more than really being a producer,
Sure.
Do you feel it comes together more as the tour goes on? You start seeing more cues and
Yeah, for sure. Especially with when you have camera people that like don't necessarily know the show as well as you do. You have to direct them a lot in the beginning, and then everyone sort of gets into a flow of like, oh, this is what she wants here, so I'll just go. And then people just do it because they know that's what you're going to ask them to do.
Do you have any favorite moments in the show?
Yeah, I like, I kind of like the slower songs because I like doing some cool like fades from like one side of it's kind of nerdy, but I like when someone's in on this side and then it fades into someone on this side of the screen,
And kind of gets
and
that
I kind of
full-
play with that, yeah. And that mixed in with like crowd stuff and just sort of playing with compositions that way. But I also really like fast songs when I'm cutting super quick, like to the song rather than just like,
Well, that's the thing too.
Oh.
I think with like slower, you can be more artistic.
Yeah.
With some things.
You have
where, like,
time.
yeah, you have time, right? So you
Yeah.
can kind of be more experimental, and then
but there's also like a thing where a lot of directors are kind of like you see iMag and it's mostly just showing you what's there, but I kind of like to think of it as like a music video where like what's coming up next and you sort of like, okay, guitar solo's coming, let's get a couple different shots of that instead of just showing a static shot of the person. I kind of
Sure.
like to make it sort of like, I don't know, go with the song specifically and get really specific about like little things, like cut to when there's a drum fill, cut to it real quick, cut back out. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
really accent like certain parts. So
What's your favorite camera? Both of you guys. It's probably a loaded question.
I mean, I like the Sony series right now. I have an A7 R4 and an A7 S3. One's better at photos, one's better at video. So
Sure.
yeah, I have both that I bring.
both worse than Canon though.
No.
So yeah.
Well, I have an iPhone.
Listen, you
funny.
don't knock the iPhone, man. Do what you gotta do.
Oh, I knocked
You
the
do you.
iPhone. It gets thrown all over the
Oh,
place.
she gives the iPhone the compliments, but Sony.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, I like the Ray-Ban Metas too. I'm not mad at anything except Sony. Sony's awful.
Is it awful because she uses it, or is it?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yes.
bring my camera on the last tour, and she wanted some new bio photos. So I was like, all right. I took her camera, and it was a piece of trash, dude.
It was not.
It
It's absolutely
was.
not.
It was so heavy. It felt like trash. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's bad.
We'll have to hashtag Sony on this.
Yeah. We just lost that sponsor.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
All these are filmed on Sony.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, this podcast looks like trash.
I'm gonna clip that.
Yeah.
That's great.
I have a question. So, do you feel like you ever fall into the same trap of taking the same photo over and over?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard, especially on tour, because, like, you do it night after night after night. I always feel like the first week, you're trying to, like, get used to all the cues. And then after a couple shows, you're like, okay, now I can predict it. And then like you plan where to be when something's going to happen, and then you get the shot. And then once you got the shots, then you're like, okay, now what? You're like, I got to try and find like new stuff that I haven't seen that wasn't obvious. So it's hard. But like every venue is kind of different, and every crowd is kind of different too. So like you have to start kind of like looking around at that stuff. Like there's some crowds that like there's like just a bigger mosh pit, and like they're just going crazier. So you're like, all right, tonight's a crowd night. Like I'm really gonna like risk my life and, and hang out in there and see what comes from that. But yeah, it's tricky, but also like it's a job. I can't complain. Like I'm taking pictures for a living at concerts.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty awesome.
if that's like the most stressful part, I'm like, cool.
You gotta have a good attitude. Not like, oh, I have to do this today. It's like I get to do this today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you are a little burned out, it's a cool job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, is Godsmack doing more? Are they more like just a touring band, their own shows, their own headliner? Or are they doing festivals? Or there's a mix? I don't know.
There's
It's a mix.
you did festivals in the summertime, yeah.
Yeah, we did Incarceration in the summer, and
I think it's Danny Winter Presents. I think.
yeah,
I've done some stuff.
yeah, and that was crazy, and it was cool because it was at the prison that they shot the Awake video.
That's
like,
crazy.
years ago. So like that was kind of cool, and like that's a day where you can get different kind of content and stuff to break it up. So they did that, but then they did that co-headline with Stained last summer, so like that's
cool.
like a different vibe. But then other than that, it's been pretty much just like their own tour.
When was the last time they played the Ryman?
Oh, that was on the Vibes tour, and that was different.
Was that recent?
I can imagine.
That was
in
recent.
spring.
I was
this
here,
year, right?
and I could see the light because I could see the Ryman from my apartment, and I saw the lights going off. Like they have a big production, don't they?
That was brought down a bit.
Oh yeah,
From
because
the
that was
usual
like
show.
that was like so the Vibes tour was like an acoustic but not sort of thing, but it was we played theaters instead.
Gotcha.
But then this last tour we had like everything.
Yeah, like they're usually a band that has like pyro and like flames and like all that.
It's a lot of money
Yeah.
to do that. I remember because I know Huey because of Shinedown, and I used to help run Bass's studio for a long time. And I remember one time, what album was it? Amaryllis, I think. And they came back with no money. They're like, because they wanted a video wall and then they want to do pyro.
Yeah.
And Bass was like, I think I made $5,000. I was like, that is crazy.
And their video team kept asking for a raise.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta pay her.
Yeah.
She needs to buy crabs. But have you ever done Shinedown stuff? I'm assuming you probably have.
I haven't officially worked for Shinedown, actually. I did some Smith & Myers stuff. Like I shot
acoustic stuff.
the cover of their last album, and we did a few music videos. And who knows though?
Sure.
Who knows about next year?
Are
We'll
you?
see.
Do you? So I mean, now in this part of your career, you kind of like getting offers now. You're like, oh, what's next? You're gonna be
Yeah,
like?
that's the thing. It's like I've built these relationships with everyone with my photo career, and now it's like, oh, Paris does video now.
That's awesome.
you know,
Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah.
So every year can be a little different.
It could, yeah. I mean, I have my normal lineup who need to like trust me in a different role, which is sort of a thing, but we'll see. And then there's also the video companies that more likely, like, than a photographer, you kind of need to freelance yourself, but video companies, they usually send out a team. It's not really like people have, oh, this video director I use all the time. It's kind of more just like whoever the company gives you. So there's that other avenue of like, I could hit up video companies, be like, hey, I'm a director here.
Sure.
So who knows? Who the hell knows? But everyone's kind of like done with working, I feel like, for the year.
Yeah.
Feels like it's pretty.
It's that shutdown. I mean, you could feel it in Nashville.
Yeah.
Even I go
Everyone's
on
done.
Facebook every day, and like one of my industry friends is like, "Hey, looking for next year. 2025 is like wide open." And I'm like, every day, I'm like, "All right, we're all in the same boat. We're all trying
Yeah. I would
Slow
love an
down.
answer right now. So
Yeah.
I would love an answer for next year
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. So if anyone needs me.
Yeah. You have
does this come
about
out?
48
Yeah.
hours. We can put it out as soon
First
as
come,
possible.
first serve. Also very
available to be
expensive.
hired in 2025.
Yeah.
As of
We'll
now.
put this out.
Double
ASAP.
your budget and I'm there.
Question for Tor: are you a West Coast girl or East Coast girl? What do you like dig? What do you dig more?
Oh, I think I Ooh, that is hard. I think I
She's
like-
Canadian. She likes everything. She's
Yeah.
just nice. She will never talk shit about
Manifest
anything.
destiny.
There you go.
I guess I'd prefer the West Coast. You know, you got the palm tree. Oh, I guess Florida,
Ugh.
Carolina. Yeah, West Coast. I go with West Coast.
What about you, Ryan?
Me?
Yeah.
I
You
prefer
West
the
Coast girl, East Coast girl?
I'm an East Coast girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell. I could tell. He's
What
an
about-
East Coast.
What about
girl.
you?
East Coast. Yeah.
Really? I'm West
I'm
Coast all
not-
day.
I'm pretty neutral. I'm Texan.
Yeah.
So, but I've always preferred the culture of the East
Coast.
Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, more of a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
attitude.
Well, it's like gonna be a dick, but they're nice. And then like the further west you go, it's like they're gonna be nice, but they're actually dicks.
Ooh, yeah,
Well,
that's, true.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah. As the
I'm
weather
hotter
gets
on
better.
the East Coast though, if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like people here aren't as good looking.
That's a
So-
good point.
Yeah, I was
But
like
see-
I was like a California 5 when I was out there, you know, in LA.
Like a Nashville 5.5.
yeah, yeah.
When I travel, I like to go somewhere that I feel like is so different from home because that's how I feel like I'm traveling. So like when I go to East Coast, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just kind of the same as Toronto. I feel like.
You think
Yeah, it's
Toronto's so
similar.
much better? I like.
Well,
Canada.
then does it feel like traveling if I'm going to worse?
There's no
It's way worse here,
raccoons
for
in
sure.
California, I don't think. I haven't seen any.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not in the southern
It's
parts.
weird when you go down to like the south and you see like armadillos and stuff. I'm like, what are those?
Yeah, that's true. That's funny. No
I
raccoons.
love that no one knows that we had a previous conversation about raccoons. So just like, oh, there's just no raccoons over there. So
Well, that is kind of how I showed up. It wasn't like I really segued into it.
Yeah,
That's
you were
great.
like you were just like, you're from Toronto. Oh, you have a lot of raccoons. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
Yeah. What's a pack of raccoons? What do you call them?
Gaze, G-A-Z-E.
Okay. I just want to.
why'd you have to spell it?
I didn't. I like to spell
Sorry,
things.
that was good.
I like to Diet Coke, D-I-E-T-C-O-K-E. Just spelling things for fun.
Good save.
Yeah.
That's great. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, I mean, other than work, like, what do you guys do for fun, even on tour, off tour?
We could go shopping for crabs. Ross, Burlington.
I see you guys always posting about Ross. What's up
Yeah.
with that?
We love Ross and Burlington.
Because what
'cause-
boots?
Yeah, we just
It was
God,
a
I get
challenge
everything.
last tour too.
Yeah, we just we love the hunt of the deal, you know. I love finding some random ass clothes that no one else wants for cheaper.
But
True.
really,
Dress for less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
like
know.
the first tour we did together, like we went shopping at Ross and Burlington, and that was like a lot of our days off. But at the start of the last tour, I thought it would be fun, so I made like these day off T-shirts. Like how like with bands they do tour shirts and it has all the tour dates.
Yeah.
So I did a day off shirt with all the day off dates on the back.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on the front, I made it about Ross and Burlington because that's
yeah,
what we
it
do on
was
our day off.
awesome.
That's a
She
great shirt.
really is underutilized, I think, in life.
But that's the thing. So I gave the shirt, and then it just was a challenge. It's like, well, now we have to do this
Where-
on all our
we
days
went-
off.
we
Where'd you get that? It's pretty cool.
Oh, this is just this was.
Oh, this old thing.
This
I
whole
didn't
thing.
make this.
No, where'd you get it?
It's from a company called R13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Well, it's cool. But yeah, other than Ross, you guys are you always in work mode in your mind? Like,
Yeah.
We do work on our days off.
Yeah.
We sit at home and FaceTime for like 8 hours just working on our computers together. It's
And we're
like
just in silence on FaceTime. Just
we do.
You say something? No.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like it though because it makes me work. It makes me
true.
actually
It
work and not
does.
scroll my phone. So.
Well, that's a good thing to get at because we all kind of work for ourselves essentially. Do you find it hard to get motivated sometimes?
No,
No.
I love it.
I do sometimes.
I love emails.
Oof.
I
I do.
Dude, I spend all day on my emails. I hate it.
Oh, I like
I mean,
it.
she keeps
Whole
yelling
life.
at me that I don't post on Instagram enough. So like,
You never
When I get
know
on FaceTime,
what
I'm forced to
opportunities
do
can
it.
come in your email. You
She's
never
not
know what
wrong.
emails come in next.
I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's sometimes hard to get motivated. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want to. I want to play a video game. I don't
Oh,
wanna-
dude, I will do that for
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I go hard. Whatever I do it hard.
Hard.
Like
You just binge
I'm
it.
going. Yeah. What did I just watch? I watch whole series.
I'll
in-
watch in like 2 days.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%. I watched Unreal. Have you seen that? It's about a show. It's a show about a reality
I think I watched
show.
this.
I think I watched it.
Yeah. Or at least I
It's great.
attempted to.
Yeah, no, it was great.
No, my wife was watching it. She said it was too sad.
Oh, it's messed up. Yeah, it was good.
Because we were watching The Bachelor, and then she started watching this and was like, I don't even know if I can go back.
Yeah, they produce the people on those shows to like do fucked up things.
Oh, it's a reality show?
It's
It's a fake.
It's a drama TV show about a reality show.
About a reality
About
show
the
that-
production team.
But I believe the stuff that
Totally.
they do.
It's like the what's the one with Steve Carell and he was like the morning host.
The Office. No.
Oh, the morning show.
Yeah, the morning show. There you
Yeah.
go, the morning show.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but with
Yeah.
reality TV.
It's like it's totally like a fake, but that totally definitely
You could see it happening.
probably
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
A little bit lower budget with reality TV, but the same thing.
But that's what Unreal is.
Yeah.
Well, the hell with this? What's your show right now?
I just rewatched Walking Dead.
Oh wow.
I'm watching The Boys right now.
It's
Yeah.
good.
What about you,
Yeah.
Ryan?
My show right now. Will come back to me. I don't want to have so much dead time on this camera.
I don't have one right now.
Oh, we're rewatching The West Wing, which
never
I
saw
love.
that.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that good?
great. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Has it hold?
That's
hold
Kevin's-
up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
All right, maybe I'll
Some
do
shows you
that.
watch like
It honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not that like I was ever in like that 80s, 70s Reagan era of politicians that at least try and be presidential.
is that Kevin Spacey?
No, that's
That's House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah,
It's
that
Martin
was
Sheen
great.
is the president. But I get like nostalgic watching. I'm like, oh, the guy's like he at least tries to have morals. Like,
Start crying. Over
yeah.
I like this guy.
Yeah. That's great. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like content demand has changed or shifted since COVID?
yes, yeah, 100%.
Since COVID?
Well, there was just such like a demand for artists to put out content during COVID.
Yeah.
It was different during COVID. Like the demand I felt was like streaming because people were trying to figure out how to
Freaking hated it.
Yeah, how to do shows without doing shows.
And
So that's
socials
where
was
things
such
moved.
an important thing. I felt like now you kind of expect everyone to be posting on socials all the time.
Yeah. It was like that before, but like I felt like you could get away with a photo and like you could post just like a really good photo shot and that would be great. Now it's like it's got to be like 10 in a carousel and now they just upped it to like 20 on Instagram.
Whoa.
You're right.
And then so like all that gets posted in one go and then or it's like it's got to be video content and like it used to be about recaps. I feel like we went through a phase where like people wanted like recaps of a show or tours like constantly and those were hard to put together plus photo content and all that stuff you're trying to deliver. But now I'm finding like content also they don't want you to edit too much now. Like it's the
Be more authentic, I
be
guess.
more authentic. So like, like phone videos.
Yeah.
I used
like-
to be hardcore against like doing phone stuff because
Yeah.
I was like, I went to college.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
I know how to
fucking
use a
doing my
camera.
real
Why
camera.
are you hiring me? And
But
I'm gonna hold
now
a phone
it's
back?
just like the
Got it.
faster I get this stuff done, I'm like good. Get it done. I'll do it on the phone all day.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's just, to me, I think it's about a mix of everything. Like, you get too repetitive on social media and people just start getting bored. They're like, oh, yeah, seen that, done that.
It's
So, like,
it's wild, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have, like, a combination of, like, all these different things. Sometimes you do a recap. Sometimes you just do a quick phone thing. Sometimes you...
Is a lot of that feel just what?
Yeah, and I think, like, the more you start working with the same people, like the same artists,
You kind of start picking up their vibe.
yeah, and like what works for them and like what they're really good at. And who's like really likes to be on camera, who doesn't. So like you can kind of see like certain trends or certain ideas and like who will take that on really well.
Sure.
And so it just kind of gets easier to produce the content the more you build those relationships.
What's funny is that the content that I create is nothing like what I like to consume.
Why is that? you
Yeah,
think?
why?
It's because I like watching the dumbest shit.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
feed algorithm is weird.
Oh yeah, dude. For the longest time, you used to send me the most gross shit.
Yeah, it's off. It's great.
Yeah.
You love it. Don't act like you don't like it.
Yeah. Some of it's like, how the hell did you find
Yeah.
this?
Cringe.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
cringe.
Yeah.
Which now actually I follow that account now
Yeah. It's
because
amazing.
actually it's like, who are these people?
This is where the stuff's coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm. But it also makes me think, like, should we start making cringe videos? I don't know. I think maybe.
Who do you want your audience to be? Do you want that? Like,
That's true.
Yeah, I guess that is.
But I kind of
selecting
feel
your audience.
like let's just talk about musicians, but comedians too. But you got to be like, I guess just musicians. You got to be like hilarious now. It's like a whole other thing you have to put on, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm really in
Like
my
you can be
prime.
like, hey, here's my new record. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But if it's you doing a stupid dance,
Yeah,
oh,
you
I think also depends on the artist. Like I work a lot with Godsmack, and like they are really funny, but like they're kind of like off the cuff. So like you have to film them backstage for like 20-30 minutes
to get something good.
to get something good and just keep knowing. And then like, so I'll film for 20-30 minutes and then I'll hear something and I'll make a note so I know to look for it to cut it together really quickly.
Oh man, that's smart.
But then there's bands like Simple Plan who I've worked with, and they will like specifically like look at the dance trends and like all that stuff. But they're a goofy, like those kids, they're
Yeah.
like kids.
Yeah.
So like for their brand and like who their audience is,
It makes sense.
it makes sense. They can dress like, like kind of crazy and weird and like,
Yeah, I remember they were trying to get Godsmack to do a TikTok, and they were just like, no.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
some artists are like,
But
I am not
then-
doing
but
that.
also
That's
their
the thing,
fans,
like-
I don't think would respond. Like if
Yeah.
No,
Godsmack
I think
went and
that's
did
a
a dance
waste of
challenge,
time.
like their fans would be like,
What
What?
the hell?
yeah.
What is this? What the hell is this
Sully
shit?
is a good
I need a
dancer,
beer.
though. Sully's a great dancer.
That's funny. Well, but it's wild, man. Content. I mean, y'all's job is becoming like some of the most sought out shit that people need. So it's a good thing. Right?
It is, yeah. It is an ever growing.
It's nice that people take my job seriously now, but it's also kind of like, ugh,
A lot of
I
pressure.
don't want to do this shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Now you're
It's-
expected to be serious.
Yeah, it's like it's a job now. Like before, it was more like an art. Like I was photographing to potentially make a book at some point, but now it's just like feeding the beast,
Yeah.
and it's kind of sucks.
How much of y'all's life lives in editing?
It's definitely, for me, it's at least 50% usually.
She's slow at editing. I'm a
It's
lot.
that Sony. It's that Sony
It's
camera.
like
man.
big sister, little sister.
Yeah.
Just berating her.
Yeah, she
Your
needs
camera
to-
sucks.
Camera sucks. She's slow. It's
Hey,
just
she still gave me the job, so it's fine.
yeah.
She picked the wrong
love.
coast.
Clearly
Yeah.
did something right.
It's love.
Oh, no,
it's love.
she's great at it. She's just slow.
I am too. I am.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the great at it part, but in my job, I would like to believe I'm pretty good, right, Taylor?
Hell yeah.
But I'm very slow. I get sidetracked.
You need me to
Yeah.
confirm it?
Yeah.
Maybe you have ADHD.
No, I don't. I have no excuse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I always
I
say
have an excuse.
I'm acoustic.
Yeah. You're acoustic. He's full acoustic.
I got zinged a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So. But cool. Well, well, thanks for coming. But is there a band that you guys like, a dream band? If you had to go, man, I would love to work with them.
I can't say that because no one's gonna hire that person. You know,
What do you mean?
I'm like, oh, I love this band, and then I can't have them take me seriously.
Oh, you feel like you might jinx
I don't
yourself?
want to be a fangirl. You
Yeah,
can't.
sure.
You can't be not cool. You know.
No, totally.
You have to
100%.
Handsome.
pretend like you don't like the band.
I should have answered first because I would have said it, and then she would have come back with that. But now I can't.
No, don't do it. Stay cool. Stay
Is there a
cool.
band you?
We don't even like music.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a band you don't want to work with?
There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's good for the.
Yeah.
I
band-
don't
if
want to. I don't want to talk shit.
That's what I was
man.
searching for.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Sure. Cool. Well, is there anything you guys are looking forward to then? Just you ready just to be chilling for the rest of the year, or you ready to get back on the road?
I'm ready to do that Brandy Carlisle's show. It's a whole festival, so I'm doing the whole thing. Shania Twain. It's gonna be sick.
That's
I'm
amazing.
ready to
Yeah.
chill. I'm gonna go to Mont Tremblant.
Oh yeah, we might take a group trip to Mont Tremblant, which is in Canada.
I know.
You know. I didn't know. Yeah. She's like, oh, let's go to Mont Tremblant. I was like, what?
Have you guys ever done an another question, because talking about touring and Brandy Carlisle, because she does a lot of them. Any of those 6-man cruises? You ever done any of those?
No, but we did Shipwrecked, which is a cruise.
I think that's 6-man.
Do you know
No, it's,
Chad
it's
not.
Nicefield?
Chat. Yes.
He did a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Like he was helping them put
It's
on.
Ask For.
Did you enjoy it?
Loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I was gonna do it this year, but Brandy overlaps, and I need to push forward to my new career of video direction. But yeah, Shiprocked is super fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I always say too, like for anyone that wants to get more into the industry, going to something like Shiprocked is great.
Sure.
Because you are with people and like the industry for like a week straight.
And you get to know them.
You can't
There's no
escape.
backstage.
Yeah.
You know, so like you
You
want
want to be a real creep.
Yeah.
Don't
Go
be
on a
weird.
cruise.
Just get one of those glasses
They
and just take
can't.
pictures.
Yeah.
Don't be weird, be cool.
Yeah.
But, like that's a great way to just like network and meet people.
Sure.
Yeah.
My buddy Sean used to work for Doc McGee, and so he's like, "You want to go?" So you work for Kiss? He's like, "You want to go on the Kiss cruise?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And then we got on that boat, and there was no one good looking, and we were the youngest
Oh
guys.
yeah, it's not good
There was
looking.
I didn't say it was a good.
There-
I said a good time.
There was literally people in wheelchairs like, "Kiss," and I was like,
It's not the
I said
Bachelor,
good
Tyler.
networking, not good dating.
And yeah. We remember we did see like what was it, Guatemala or something, whatever. Where
That's
we
a
parked.
country, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Where we parked at, and we saw some girls, and we were like, "What?" Like it was just funny, you know. But the Six-Man cruises, you know, I think it's cool for the artists because they get to kind of be more intimate.
Yeah.
So they're super fans, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing; those fans love it, right? And they're, from what I saw, especially with Shiprock, like people are very considerate. Like they do know, like the
No, yeah, they're great.
bands
It's
are
not
on
weird.
vacation. They're having fun. So like I've seen them like people are like polite. They don't bug you while you're eating. Like they know. So like it's a cool
they're
vibe.
they're not being super fangirl.
Yeah.
They get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is about fans is that they're just so excited. They're not trying to be like weird and creepy, but they're just so happy that they can't control it that
Yeah.
they seem weird. So like I always have like a soft spot for these people that are just like normally you're like, ugh.
I mean,
But
they're like, I mean, I know what you mean because I mean, it's like they're hardworking people. They can't believe they're
Yeah.
seeing their favorite band.
well, they're freaking
And they're
out.
like, holy
why
shit.
I always
And if you
feel-
were like, hey, want to come backstage? They'd be like, oh my God.
They would die.
This is why I always feel lucky to work in concerts. Like concerts are like part of the happiest place on earth.
Yep.
Like what everyone just goes there for a good time. Like no matter what's going on in people's like day to day, or like if they had a bad day at
They've been
work,
looking
or
forward
like
to this all week.
they forget about it. They just have a good time. So like people are just like excited and happy. So
I have to say the New Kids fans are the best. They are nuts.
I was
in a
very
good way.
intrigued.
Yeah. Did you love it?
I was like, what? He kept taking his shirt off and all these layers, like, and I was
Yeah.
like, I made sure not to post on social media I was there. And I want people going, you're at the what?
You're a new kid? Do they have a name? Their fans?
The Blockheads, yeah.
Blockheads.
Oh, I thought
great.
the funniest thing though, dude.
Remind
was
me of a joke.
All of a sudden, I guess they run up and then they're in those box things. I was like, what is happening, dude? It was wild.
People freak out. They'll touch their hand, and it's like these are like 55-year-old women, you
Yeah.
know. So because that's how old the guys are. That's how they
They've
grew
watched
up with them.
them, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just touch their hand and they'll scream so loud, just like to themselves.
They're like
And
kids again.
Yeah.
It's
New kids.
so
There you
awesome.
go.
Oh, wow, this guy. Where'd you find this guy?
Oh, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I met Ryan. Shoot, the first time I met him, I'm not alcoholic, I swear to God.
Yeah.
We partied till 5 a.m. and I left. You're playing John Mayer, New Light. We're just talking
Yeah.
about guitars, and I left all my
It's
guitars.
Where the
and
Light
stuff.
Is.
Where the light is there.
Yeah,
And I left all my guitars there for like 3 days.
He
and
left
I was-
his like $4,000 acoustic guitar
I just
in
met
some
him.
random kid's house that he just met.
But it was great because Postmates just came out, and the next day I was so hungover. I was like, "What is this?" And I ordered food twice to my house. That's how hungover I was. That's a bad.
And he
day.
didn't pick up his guitar for like a week.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey."
He's rich. He doesn't need it.
Sadly, he
rich.
wasn't. He really needed it.
Yeah, back then I was poor as shit.
Yeah, you should have seen his place.
Yeah, oh God, that was a bad place. Harry Potter's closet, I called it. It was gross.
One last, Tyler's not an alcoholic officially, but there was a time where we went out and
That was good.
we were in different parts of the studio. I had this Airstream that I was living in.
I know you're talking
And
about.
I was there, and he was in like the little guest room we had at the studio. And we were just hungover. We hadn't seen each other all day, and
I always passed
ordered.
through town too. I was just staying at his place.
Yeah, I ordered Uber Eats, and he ordered Postmates or something like that at the same time, and these guys showed up
the same
at the
time.
same time, and we're both walking out, and there's the first time it's 5:00 p.m. These guys
look
are
at each other like,
they're like
huh?
it was like the Spider-Man meme, like
They're like,
it was one of the I think you
Another-
got Chick-fil-A and I got
You got like Mexican, you had like chips. I remember.
yeah, I got Chewy's.
And we just literally went, all right, bye.
Yeah.
I went back to my room.
Yeah.
I think I watched like 3 movies that day on my
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah.
It was terrible.
That was a good time.
Well, anyway, non-alcoholic. But you guys want to post anything or like plug anything? Your socials.
you need to plug your Instagram.
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, she needs to post more, but yeah, she'll
will.
get there. She's gonna be posting so much, so go follow her.
I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
all these clips. I'll get a ton of.
Yeah. Oh, there you
stuff.
go.
Yeah, my Instagram's is just my name. It's at Francesca Ludikar. Just spell it out. I don't know.
Smart.
And you got anything to plug? Hey, I got this coming or just whatever.
Yeah, I'm chilling for a bit.
We did just have a show at the Morrison Hotel Gallery.
We
so
did.
those are
It's true.
Godsmack photos that are available for sale if you want to spend money on art.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
And what about you?
Prints are online.
Oh, are you guys selling online?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
what's the
through
website?
The Morrison Hotel Gallery.
Cool.
Just search Godsmack, you'll see it.
Sure. And what about
We
you?
both have it.
Your socials? Anything you got coming up?
Just my name, Paris Visone.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing, unless you're hiring a video director, there's nothing really you can do for me.
I love the the attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks so much. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.